Look, times have changed when it comes down to buying cars. I understand in the 80s, 90s, maybe even the 2000s, people would go to the dealership getting themselves mentally ready to face off against this car sales guy. And then you have to 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 the manager, and then you have to sit with finance department for 2 hours and say, no, no, no. Finally, 6 hours later, 10 pounds later, you walk out with a car. You're absolutely frustrated. You go home fighting your wife, your mom, your dad, or your girlfriend. Today, it's a completely different time. So I'm going to share with you how I've been buying cars for the last 7 years. Look, just in the last 7 years, I've bought somewhere around $2.5 million worth of cars. And I can tell you from experience, I've made all the mistakes. And the worst thing about buying a car is the frustration that comes after you go into a dealership. And the reason why I say that to you is because typically when people buy a car, the mistake they make is they go to a dealership first. And that's not what you want to do first. Here's what I recommend. The first thing you ought to do is call an online auto broker. Here's why. They have inventory of every single car in America. Let me explain. I wanted to buy a Dawn. I was looking for a Salamanca Blue Dawn. That's the only one I was interested in. I called him, Danny. Danny looked up in his inventory, came back and told me there's one in Naples, Florida for sale right now. I said, great. I call Naples dealership myself. They told me $406,000. He calls the dealership. He got $388,000. 3 days later, that car was delivered to my house. I never had to talk to the sales guys to negotiate nothing. He did it for me. Car came to me, delivered. I signed a piece of paper. 30 seconds, boom, the guy was gone, right? So number one, they have inventory. Number two, time. I don't have to sit on a dealership for hours and say, oh my gosh, I went to the first one, then the second one, then the third one. By this time, I'm so burned out. I'll say yes to anything because I just want to go home and watch football, spend time with the kids and relax. I don't have any time to be around these dealer guys. They're annoying. They're pushing me way too much. Hypothetically, that's what a lot of people say. So time. Third one, money. Why do you save money? These online auto brokers have corporate fleet licenses, which means they get a discount on the cars because they buy a certain amount of dollars of cars every year. So they get a discount you and I don't get. Because of that pool of discount that they get, you get to participate in it. So they'll call the dealership and they'll say, my customer is willing to buy this car for this price and the payment needs to be $1,200. They'll pretty much negotiate and the dealership will say, no, we're not going to hit it. Because they contact so many different dealerships, somebody says yes to them because they need to hit a quota. They haven't sold anything. They're sitting on some cars that they got to get rid of, and you get the discount for that because the broker, the consultant, does the selling for you. Now you simply tell the consultant price point, what you're looking for. He makes the phone call. Look, some of you may have already said and commented below and said, Pat, you shouldn't go deal with an online auto broker. There are apps to buy cars. Let me explain to you why I'm not a fan of apps when it comes down to buying cars. Here's why. As a financial advisor, I can use E-Trade and go buy stocks and then lose money because I'm not the expert. Or I can use an expert that does this for a living and they counsel me on what to look for, what not to look out for, because that's what they do 24/7. You see, when you deal with an online auto broker, they know which cars are running discounts, which cars are not. I'll give you an idea. I called one of my guys named Barrett. Here's what he said. We were about to buy an E350. He says, Patrick, Mercedes-Benz has a reputation of changing the E-Class every 8 years. It's year 7. You're going to buy it a year from now. It's going to look like an old Mercedes as if it was an 03. I don't recommend you buying it. I said, wow, that makes a lot of sense. Now adjust and look at 750 because 750 just came out and they're going to be on the marketplace. And this costs us this much, that one's is this much. And then he gave me a couple other options. But that advice, I'm not going to get from the app. That advice, I'm going to get from somebody I'm dealing with as a consultant. And then they tell me, just so you know right now, Lexus is running specials. You know, BMW is not, Mercedes is not, or they'll say things like, Nissan had some issues with this car. They had a big thing that just happened with them. I wouldn't buy their car right now. Or these guys are running specials on, financing for lease. This one with your credit, I can use this guy with this. You have access to that. But they're going to know all the specials on different kind of cars that's taking place. So in essence, they're playing the role of an advisor to you. So then once you speak to them and they tell you all the specials, narrow it down to 3 cars. Then go to the dealership as a showroom because that's exactly what they are nowadays. And by the way, even the dealership owners know dealerships are showrooms. They make more sales off online than they do at their dealerships. All the dealership people know about it right now. You go into the showroom, you look at the cars, you say, well, this is one, this is one, this is one. 25 minutes, 30 minutes, you go to 3 different dealerships. Okay, great. I like this one. You call the guy back, he makes a sale for you. They get your financing, they deliver it to you, keys, sign, done. So listen, if you're looking to buy a car under $150,000, maybe a 750 Li or even a Geo Metro, call Barrett. He can help you out with that. Now, on the other hand, if you're looking to buy an exotic, maybe a Rolls-Royce, Ferrari, Lambo, Porsche, Bentley, call Danny. His expertise purely when it comes onto exotic cars. I've left both of their phone numbers in the description section. If you're wondering right now, saying, Pat, should I buy? Should I lease? What should I do with these cars? I don't know what to do. How do I handle my money? I made a video for you titled 20 Rules of Money that's got a few million views. Go watch that video next.